been just over a week since the removal of former Mogale City Mayor Tyrone Gray. Gray was removed after a motion of no confidence only a few hours after the reinstatement of 40 ANC and EFF councillors. It is expected that the Speaker, Jacqueline Pennell, might also be removed. But how are residents feeling, and has there been any changes regarding service delivery in the area since? Our reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones is on the story and he joins us now live. Pule, I understand that you are with the mayor that has been ousted. I understand you might have seen him today or will be seeing him later on today. What is he telling you about the fact that he was ousted there?
Good afternoon, Masiho, and definitely we have the mayor right now who is going to be chatting to us regarding what transpired in council today. But before we do that, we had actually spoken to residents who were saying that they're quite disappointed with what they saw or what transpired in council yesterday, as the mayor, of course, has been doing a great job in terms of delivering services in the area. I spoke to a group of community members just early on in the morning today. But you are quite incorrect. The move comes just after 41 councillors from the EFF and the ANC were reinstated after the Speaker, Jacqueline Pennell, had, of course, said that they should be removed from council because they were not attending council meetings. But without any waste of time, let's speak to Mr. Gray, who joins us right now. Thank you very much for chatting to us, Tyrone. Now, obviously, you're quite disappointed with what happened yesterday, but just take us through, what does this mean for the residents now? What kind of plans did you have for the residents here in Mogale City?
Okay, thank you very much, Pule. We had a lot of plans for Mogale City. We still do have many plans for Mogale City, and those that are in the implementation phase, we will rigorously ensure oversight and accountability so that those projects are installed. For instance, we are building the 30,000 square meters of our own office space, that also assists with service delivery, so you have a one-stop shop to go to instead of going to various buildings across the city. But it also saves money. So, for instance, some of the buildings we were renting is like over 250,000 Rand a month, whereas that money should be capacitating and enhancing the assets of the community. There are also a lot of energy projects and safety mechanisms that we are doing. In terms of service delivery, as an official opposition, you will have to be there to hold account and ensure correct oversight. But I've actually quite realized after becoming mayor, it's quite therapeutic for me to cut grass. So I bought my own bush cutter and stuff, and this weekend we'll also actually be still doing our cleanup campaigns here and there. Just because I'm not the executive mayor now doesn't mean I'm not a resident of Mogale City or a councillor or someone that can assist in mobilizing communities so that we can also keep our area space and facilitate community ownership.
I must say, residents were saying that they were quite disappointed with your removal as well. I spoke to a lot of them this morning. But what's your take on coalitions, Gray? Because we've seen how this has unfolded in various municipalities across the country. We've seen in Tshwane as well, in Johannesburg, and now Mogale City, particularly in Gauteng. Are you quite disappointed with how this process is not being regulated, or there isn't any mediation before we could get to the process of having a motion to oust a mayor?
I do know that we definitely need a framework to deal with coalitions. I think it should be more structured in how it rolls out. We don't want a situation where every week someone's a different mayor and motions are submitted. We can already see the destabilization effects it has on service delivery. However, coalitions are composed of people, and people have integrity. So we must start focusing on voting for credible parties that actually are there, they're based on principles and aren't just going to, let's say, sacrifice those principles on the altar of a political expediency. We also need to look at the free will element of it. So, for instance, we know, because not only are some residents disappointed, but also some councillors have come up to me to say that they don't actually want to do it, but it's party mandate. And then this speaks to the very nature of free will of humans. For instance, you shouldn't be used as a political means to justify someone else's political ends. And being used as a pawn subverts the manner of democracy. Mogale City voted for this council, not some national politician that should meddle in those dealings.
Just take us through the issue of the Speaker and removing 41 councillors. This was taken to court, of course. The provincial government took this matter to court, judgment in their favour, and they were reinstated and subsequently ousted you as well. Are you going to challenge this decision?
Well, that is still a sub judice matter because the interim order was given and now we wait for the final order. However, the Madam Speaker never prevented them from entering council. They were always welcome. They weren't removed from emails or payroll or blocked on the biometrics or anything. There was no removal instituted. What happened was there was a miscommunication, a semantic error on the letter that spoke of removal instead of process of removal, etc. But a one-word thing. A clarification letter was also issued, also to the MEC. Now it's up to the MEC to actually execute his duties in terms of subsection 5 of the Code of Conduct. Missing 3 consecutive meetings without a leave of absence is a devastating effect on democratic process. For instance, let's have a hypothetical situation. If you are a councillor and all the councillors gerrymander together and then say, oh, if you don't get us all Mercedes, we're not coming to council. This is why Parliament wrote that legislation in an explicit clause, and it's not a may or at the discretion of, it says must be removed from council. So Madam Speaker was simply executing what the Code of Conduct envisions, and it's about time the MEC executes his duty, because failing to do so created the instability that we witnessed in Mogale City.
Okay, thank you very much. That's Tyrone Gray from the DA, former mayor of Mogale City, speaking to us right now, saying that despite being out of office, he does not mean that he will not continue with serving the residents here in Mogale City. It will be interesting to see how the next coming days unfold, Maseko, because we understand just next week, 25th or 26th, it's time to be corrected. Council will convene and we will see the election process of the mayor. For now, the city remains mayorless.
And this is the case for many municipalities in Gauteng in the past few months. Pule Letshwiti-Jones live for us in Mogale City. Let's leave it there for now.